Thursday, and welcome back to the Nexus, the Nova Nexus, the No Hide Nexus. I am James, the Idol Smasher Rogers, and you are my favorite viewer. Why? Because you're here. Glad to have you here. This is our weekly time. We take about an hour or two to dedicate to our Creator and to Torah, and actually all things religious that you would like to discuss. There's a link over here in the YouTube chat here, but we are on Rumble right now. We'll get that link out there to Rumble as soon as we can. And we are on a Rumble show, so we're gonna be Rumble strong. I still saw John over here. All right. So yeah, we do this every Thursday, 8 p.m. and we like to be a little, what we say, kosher. I don't know, is that can we say that word? And but no, during the first part we like to get we want to get some Bible study in, and usually, and maybe get a little deeper and heavier as we go. And we would love for you to we do this every Thursday night. It is an open chat. If you're respectful and dignified, all you need is a microphone. And we would love to have you here. Click that link when you want to join in. Shalom, Rosalie. Shalom, John.
Shalom.
How you guys doing?
How's everything?
I'm glad now that old Glory's standing tall. It took forever to get this, because I don't have an actual stand for her. She sits at the stand is outside on our porch. And I didn't have a stand, but I wanted to fly her because I want to be talking Israel State. But I want to talk about where I'm coming from and who I am and where I am. And I know where I am and where I stand. And I know that I know nothing about over there because I've never been there. God willing, one day I will be. God willing, one day we'll all make it over there. Because it's important to everybody. I am very concerned. I'm not surprised, but I'm still concerned at the amount of support for Hamas. It's like by name now. It's not like when David Gilmour did to help Palestinian children. And it was literally aid to the kids in Gaza. And this is in 2009, I think. He helped do a fundraiser with Waters, and and there's one thing about where you want to help out people, but these are chants in America and in the Western world saying from the river to the sea we will be free, or Palestine will be free, or some cockamamie junk. In other words, goodbye Jews. And this is like, these are American kids saying this shit en masse.
They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, so hey.
Okay, so here we are in America. This is part of us now. Every nation will come against you. I will bring. That's what the God said. I will bring every nation against you to war with you, and you will prevail, so that they may know. So I guess a good deal of America, the president of Canada, the prime minister of Canada, the prime clown, the prince clown, the clown prince, goofy dude, said Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. Yes, they do. It's called democracy. Hamas was a democratically elected
voted them in.
And it reflects. Here's the thing about Palestinians. We're going to get to the history of this, but the Palestinian people have become so toxic and have raised their children to be so toxic. Nobody wants to help them, except Iran, only for the sake of destroying Jews. Recently, the president of of Egypt, said, we're not going to exactly do anything for the Palestinians because you like your guard dog being on the porch to keep, the evil out, but you don't let them sit at your dinner table. If that tells you how they feel about Palestinians. Jordan doesn't want them, the queen. The more I think about a Jordanian queen, but she apparently has sway. And she said the same thing. We're not going to help. We can't have the men here. This is the same thing that happened in 1948. See, when Israel became a state and booted out the British, thank God. When they booted out the British, every country around Israel attacked them and displaced a mess of people, primarily at that time, because there were a lot of them there, what were one time called Arab Muslims. We don't say that anymore. Catherine, honey, hi. Sweet thing. Go outside. Daddy's busy. Someone's very excited because she got the binoculars and went and looked at the moon. Just gorgeous tonight here in North America. Thank you.
I can't see it from my perspective because it's raining out.
So they were displaced and convinced, it was okay. They were kind of okay with it because Syria was going. Well, you got Syria, Egypt, Iraq, Lebanon. I'm not sure if Jordan at that point had entered that. But these were people who all attacked Israel on the same day, the day, and they lost. And when they brought all their tanks and all their military back home, they just kind of left the people they displaced there, who were on their side, who were willing to stand with them, who did stand with them. A lot of people left willingly to give room for armies to move through. Oh, we don't want you. And they all left. And there's these people standing with their pride in their hand and nowhere to go. And they didn't want to be where they were. And they were so prejudiced, they weren't going to live with the Jews. Not those Jews. And so that's where this came from. Okay. The history, the language, the families. We're talking 1,000 years or more of history, 1,500 years of history in that land is right across the Jordan River. It's the same people. What we call Jordanians today are Palestinians. Palestine hasn't existed since 1948 when the British got a good British kick up their backside, or a nice Jewish kick up their British backside. There hasn't been a Palestine since. They didn't start using that word and this fake flag. I want to share that a little later on. I'm going to do that screensaver thing. I'm getting to learn the StreamYard stuff. It invokes 5 foreign nations. And it's called the Palestinian flag. They came up with that in the hippie era of 67. What they were smoking over there, that must have been the good stuff. And this is really all comes down to the honorary Nazi members of certain Arab factions. From what I gather, as religious as a lot of people are, and no Muslim will talk to me, okay, fine. Unless they come to the store and order, and I'll be happy to help them out. I had a fella come in who had the headdress. I forgot the name of the headdress, and it was the waves, and it was a Palestinian solidarity. And yeah, the only guy who'll talk to me is a guy who wants to do business with me. But no, I don't think Muslim nations anyway want this anymore. They want to stand by, the Palestinian people for the sake of their fellow Muslims, and I get that. But their behavior is beyond. This isn't jihad. Okay, if you want to do something like jihad, that Saudi prince seems like a pretty righteous dude. Just my personal opinion, never met him, but from he ain't so bad. Okay, I think we're all getting to be a little more civilized. Or at least we seem to behave that way to some degree. I know the Emirates don't want to. They don't want trouble. They don't want a war. Nobody really wants a war. They want to be prideful and say there will be, and they'll be the ones on top. But nobody really wants a war, except for a few people, and they're the few people in the right hands. So I don't know. You get people now who are just saying Hamas for someone says colonialism to them in college, and they colonialism, racism, apartheid, the war, Palestinian oppression, occupation. That's all they do, just trigger words. And these sheeple, these low-end, low-grade subhumans, just they don't think, they don't care, they don't go, they don't read, they don't know. They could give 2 craps about Muslim people. They just see they're mostly brown or different. So therefore, they need protecting. Show some dignity to Muslims, for Pete's sakes. Siding with Palestinians, thinking that you're doing something good. That's stupid. There is no Palestine. They're Gazans. Palestine doesn't exist. It never did. It doesn't now. It's a joke. It's Narnia. It's Tatooine. Okay? It's freaking Oz. That's Palestine. It's nothing. It's nowhere. It's gone. It's done. It will never, ever come back. And any remnants or that residue, that bitter residue that's still left, is about to be taken out of the game completely. I saw a chicken nugget in my hand. I said, wow, it looks like Israel. And I ate it and looked back at my empty hands. Wow, now it looks like Palestine. It's over. It's over. Your stupid war. God's going to bring the world against them, and they're going to stand. So, you can go on hating, and you can reject every single book in the Hebrew Bible all day for the sake of your own God, whatever you want to do. But at this point, if you're going to side with when we have footage, when we have, established evidence of horrific shit done to Israelis, I don't want to hear how bad Israel is. Israel ain't, look at my flag, okay? You don't need to tell me about how bad a good country can go, okay? So don't pull that bit about, well, Israel. Israel's done it. 5 times they've offered them their own land. 5 times. They pulled their own people out of Gaza just to say, here, be yourselves, make some money. We'll even help bring water and electricity in. And they build rockets to kill the Israelis because they're devil dogs or whatever stupid nonsense they teach their kids. Now ask him, it's not in a temple. What was this little punk little, probably sweetheart if she were raised anywhere else in the world? There is no temple. There's never a temple there. The mosque was first. I'm like, have you gone there? Have you driven 45 freaking minutes? How far is it from Gaza to Jerusalem? It's right. It's right there. It's right freaking there. She's never seen it, doesn't know it, and believes to the point where she knowingly supporting murder. And Americans flying these fucking Palestinian flags. It's over. It's over. Queers for Palestine.
Yeah.
I got nothing. I know how it is. I still stand with Israel, but okay. I know it's infected my own damn country. And one of the things it's infected is I hate the word anti-Semitism because it's sterile and it means nothing. And Arabs are Semites too. So are Italians. So are Greeks. Okay. Jew haters. Let's just call it what it is. Anti-Semite. No, Jew hatred. They ain't done nothing wrong. They have their own state. Even when Torah says, you put a homosexual person committing a homosexual act to death, they're not throwing any gays off of rooftops. Okay. They had a strip club. They gutted and fumigated it and stripped it all out and rebuilt it. And now it's like a kosher bookstore there in Tel Aviv. That's good news. Perfectly good building. Why not? So I'm very disappointed. Europe, Europe can kiss it. I could give 2 shits what Europe or the evil that is the UN. The first people in history to be transgenerationally identified as what's the displaced? What do you call them? Refugees. They're still refugees. You can be born Palestinian and have a grandchild, and it's considered a refugee. Nowhere in history has that ever happened. I mean, the United Nations took on what was laid down in the Mandate for Palestine as the Israeli state in 48, 49. And then somehow at the same time, gives lip service to Palestine. They have no vote. They have no say, but yet they're recognized, and they'll bring a shed load of money. You know how much free stuff Gazans get? West Bankers too. Free stuff, UNRWA and all these sending them free money. Just free money. Beyond welfare. Beyond welfare. For what? For what? Arab Muslims live fine in Israel. The Knesset's a third Muslim. Guess what's sitting on top of the Temple Mount? A mosque. An active mosque. It's an apartheid state. No, it's not. No, it's not. Both mosques stand. I know there was a fire at one a couple years ago. Hope everyone was okay. But yeah, there's no apartheid. Jews just came home. They're supposed to come home. God told them to come home. God said with an outstretched arm, I will bring you home. It's not even their choice. You stupid, ignorant, freaking religious kooks out there. It's not the Jews' choice. I mean, it was at Sinai, but after that, they're stuck with it. God's going to bring them back no matter what, no matter how much violent jihad, not the jihad where you can make flowers go and make people hearts swell, where they bring tears in their eyes with joy in knowing God. No, we can't have that kind of jihad. Or certainly the American press isn't going to recognize any other kind of jihad. Can't be a religion, can't be Rumi. No, we can't bring the wisdom to the masses. No, can't do that. No, that's not the jihad that American Westerners understand, that there is a joy to Islam and a God-fearing one. I really think, I would hope in my heart of hearts that even the Muslims are done with the war. Well, if you aren't done with the war, be prepared for what's after. That's what you really gotta think on. You can gripe about the war now and a hospital. How do we get rid of the Nazis? How do we get rid of them? Did we just say, I'm not going to touch a German national, or I'm only going to touch I'm not going to touch a German soldier, but I'll attack the SS. I don't only the SS that are Nazis, or they're all Nazis, but we can only go for the Nazis, and we have to leave all the others. No, we carpet bombed the shit out of that place, just like they carpet bombed Britain. Who had it coming? That's how you win a freaking war. How do we stop the Japanese? Those mothers mowed us over. No one likes to admit that now, but they mowed us over. They ripped us a new one out in the South Pacific. How did that end finally? Oh, and I'm not going to talk about the torture methods and what they did to the Chinese. I mean, that emperor was weak and let a lot of Western... Anyway, how do we end that war? We had to bomb the shit out of them. That's how you end wars for people who want to kill you. If you're any kind of a civilized human being, you have to separate yourself. You have to just step aside and not stand so close to your Palestinian flag waving douchebag friends of yours or colleagues or whatever the hell you know. Stand, if you're any kind of a decent Democrat American, back off from that, man. Back away from it for your own sake, okay? Because this is Korach on steroids. There's going to be a line drawn, and you're going to be on one end of it. You don't have to like Jews, and you certainly don't have to like the way the state of Israel's run. That's such a chaotic voting system. I will never. There's no way it can be grasped. That's too Jewy for me. I could never get that. I can get Kabbalah. I can't get that stuff. That's crazy. I get why, and whatever you can. I think you should be able to, any government of man should be highly criticized at all times, in my personal opinion. But yeah, when you stand with people who say get rid of them all, you need to stand aside just for your own and for the world's sake, man. We got to get away from this line of thinking. It's not going to work. Anyway, okay. I guess that's my prologue. Yeah, it's good 20 minutes for you out there in internet land. John, tell me something good. I want to shut up for a minute. You go ahead.
Tell me something good.
Good.
Jeez.
Tell me that you like it. Oh yeah.
The message, the message, the positive message is there's one God, and the one God loves us, and that Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, he watches over us, cares about us. That's the message that I want to send. You said something good. That's the good message right there. The good message. The Christians have what's the good news? What's the gospel? Well, the gospel is that you don't need a fairy tale to. I'm trying to be nice. I was sorry. I was trying to keep it positive, but it's hard to be positive when you talk about certain topics. I guess I apologize, James. No. What is there to say, James? It's just a gloomy topic. I mean, you literally have. I don't remember who said it, but if the Jewish people put down their arms, you have peace. If Hamas put down their arms, you have peace. If the Jews put down their arms, you have another Holocaust. I mean, when you have when it's so topsy-turvy like that, it's a clear cut which side you should be on. I'm not saying you should go out and be the biggest Jew lover that you could possibly be, but obviously it's people want to make it out, especially leftists. Roger Waters and our good friends over at the Pink Floyd, and they want to make it out like, oh, it's an equal half and half. There's one side has a difference of opinion of another side, like a house and another house and their neighbors, and they're arguing about like the fence, like who has, all right, well, you're 5 inches on my side, let's fix the fence. No, this isn't some equal, two-sided, a dispute here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you literally have one side literally parachuted in with GoPros. You have one side literally calling mama and telling her, oh, man, the greatest thing I ever done today. I killed 10 Jews, man. I'm so happy. Hello. Hello, McFly. Think, McFly. Think. It's just, it's silly. It's silly. And it's just, that's the way the world is. And people are obsessed about Israel. I mean, you have people you have countries all around the world committing atrocities, right? You have people doing the most heinous stuff you could possibly imagine. You have Zelensky literally banned the church. I mean, he's putting priests in prison. He's arresting clergy for practicing Christianity. That's a democracy. We just gave another $100 million to that country because they're the beacon of democracy.
Yeah.
And he banned elections, saying, "Well, we got to hold elections." Well, then he reneged on that. He said, "Well, if Biden pays for the elections, we'll have an election." Great, thanks. Thanks for letting us know. So this is, but it's so weird. It's like the way it is, like. You can't. It's so dynamic that the intricacies of the political structure here. I mean, apparently Russia's and now China's backing Hamas. That's crazy. I mean, it's just like because they're pro. Because it's like it's a mess. It's like, well, America backs Israel so bad, so Russia has no obligation other than to back Hamas, just because if they back Israel, then it's like being friendly towards America. It's like, oh my God, fuck. Sorry, I don't mean to curse. It's just people just can't think outside. I mean, people just have like such a narrow-minded way of looking at things, which just saddens the situation as well. It's just like you can clearly see the two sides. There's no distinction between the two sides.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't. Am I missing something?
No, I just want to know what motivates. Why? I mean, are we that trendy to where we have to go for the latest thing to take to the streets. I mean, that the Swedish girl over there, the environmental guy.
Oh, Greta Thunberg! Don't even get me started. She's pro Palestine.
Yeah,
and then she puts out a statement saying, "Well, I was just being liberal and trendy. I didn't know the real situation of the thing." Well, bitch, if you don't know what's going on, why are you talking about it then?
It was
keep your mouth shut. You're 14. Go back to high school. Sorry, James. What were you saying?
No, I was saying it was she had her thing was green for Palestine or something like that, or it was
you had four bimbos. You had four bimbos on an Instagram post. you had one that said Green Earth. You had another one that said Free Palestine. You had another one that said Jews for Palestine, and then she had one saying Free Palestine. That was her thing. So they all had it's kind of similar but kind of different. But it's so silly. It's like, how is that an environmental issue being for Hamas? I mean, you want to talk about polluters? I mean, they're just burning rubber tires and lighting things on fire. That can't be good for the environment. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're just destruction and chaos. I mean, that's I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is pro-environment. According to Bill Gates, he wants to chop down trees and bury them. I don't know. But it's a mess. It's a whole mess. But, I got to be honest with you. I'm with Nick Fuentes on this a little bit. Why are people so obsessed with a population of the world that's 0.005 of the world population? It's literally not even half of a percentage. It's like less than a half a percentage of people on this planet. 14 million people. 14 million people. It's like what, Manhattan? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how big is Manhattan, but I don't know. I'm just saying. The size of New Jersey. I mean, people are so obsessed with Jews. It's like, everywhere you go, everywhere you look, Jews. It's like you're so obsessed with. I like that. I was listening to the rant I was in the bathroom, and I apologize, James, for stepping away. And I heard your rant. Yes, there's actually two Palestines. The British Mandate made a Jewish Palestine and an Arab Palestine, which is Jordan today, modern day Jordan. Yep. There you go. I mean, it's like, this hasn't changed. This hasn't been different. If people care about Palestinians so much, why don't Egypt take them in? Why don't Jordan take them in? Why don't Lebanon take them in?
The people who displaced them, the people who displaced their ancestors, I should say, or their forefathers. In the War of Independence, I mean, they should take them in. They were on their side. They went to war for them, and then you leave them there because you didn't win the war. So everyone gets huffy puffy. I don't know. Maybe they should. I mean, Gazans don't want to be there. They just don't want to live They don't want to live peaceably. I don't understand. They've never known peace. A whole generation's been raised now since 2005, believing this horse hockey.
Horse hockey. What is that? One of those Biden words? Horse hockey, huh? What a bunch of
Sherman T. Potter.
Sherman T. Potter, mash. Yeah. Horse hockey.
Oh,
because you couldn't say bullshit in 1970s TV, but you can now thanks to Trump. He said it on a live broadcast about the first investigation, and so I just tell you right now, it was all bullshit. And he just on broadcast television, I was like, oh, that's my man right there. Right. In Texas, it's called bullshit because you don't want the other guy behind you to step in it.
Yeah, the world is. I mean, what's this week's Parsha?
Lecha.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so
the one man God calls a friend.
Abraham.
So it says, go to yourself. Lecha means go to yourself, and so God tells Abraham, go to yourself, leave your house and your native land, and go to where I will tell you. It's an interesting concept, right? What to go to yourself. I'm trying to figure out how it ties in this week's Torah portion. you know, everything is connected. Everything works in harmony. You know, it's just you have trials and tribulations. I mean, you're up against the world. I do want to say though, you know, there's a lot of backlash. I think people see. I'm trying to. I don't know how to say this with being. I'm trying to be nice. Secular Jews, atheist Jews, we have quite a lot of them here in America, and I think people, unfortunately, don't really know the difference between that, them and religious Jews. They just broad say a Jew is a Jew, and of course you can't help it because Chabad, even Chabad runs around saying a Jew's a Jew. So but we have to really make a distinction. I mean, we're talking about a group of people, and people are being hurt, and you have people going after Jews, and they're saying they're doing this and doing that. I think we have to make a distinction between secular Zionist, atheistic Jews and people who just want to live in peace. And I think for the most part, the Israeli Jews are really they want to live in peace. I can't honestly see. I see like an Abraham, right? It's like Abraham is just traversing going to where he needs to be, following God's commandments, and every chance someone can get to get him, hoodwink him or pull the whatever, try to swindle him and hurt him and kill him and rob him and whatever word you want to use. It's just like it's just there, going all the way up until Yaakov. Isaac had many problems. Every time he dug a well, here comes another nation to destroy his wells, symbolizing the blessings that Israel tries to make the world, and then the nations try to ruin those blessings. And it's just like that's how I see it. And I don't. This is going to be controversial, and correct me if I'm wrong, James, but I don't see secular Jews as being part of that destiny of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I see them wanting to be Gentiles. To me, they give up their Jewishness, and they want. Why is Blinken the Secretary of State of Biden's administration? He's just going to cause problems, right? Shouldn't he be in Israel making aliyah and davening 3 times a day and getting right with God? He's just starting trouble. He wants to be. We're going to go to war no matter what with Iran. He's talking about if Iran wants to start trouble with Lebanon and bring in Hezbollah, we'll do it. We'll go right there with Israel. It's like, oh my God! It's like,
yeah.
So that being said,
there are if you reject God and His commandments, you can no longer call yourself an Israelite. That's in the Torah. That's Jewish law. So if you're going to claim Jew, you can't do it when you and I couldn't believe Takamata. That guy, the Spanish Inquisition. You couldn't talk him out of anything. No, Takamata, the head inquisitor, was of Jewish extraction. Karl Marx, rabid anti-Semite of Jewish extraction. Okay. Soros, that was one thing the left tried to pull. Well, if you don't like Soros, you're an anti-Semite.
Yeah, right. You're an anti-Semite, yeah.
Yeah, that's some cojones right there. Okay.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
What I got out of this week's Parsha is actually right there in the first chapter alone. We get into some more family drama, but it says, "Your seed will I give this land. To your seed I will give this land." And there he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. Up here.
So that would, that's a very good point, James. I love that you brought that up, because a lot of people would say, people use this term Abrahamic religion. Oh, well, Islam is an Abrahamic religion. Christianity is an Abrahamic religion. Judaism is an Abrahamic religion. That's actually horse hockey. It's malarkey. To your seed, and funny, people will argue, well, Ishmael is Abraham's seed. Of course, Isaac had Yaakov, had Esau, so that would be Rome, Christians. But the thing is, it makes it pretty clear. It's not in this week's Torah portion, but I think it's in not next week, but 2 parshas down the line, where actually God clarifies what that means, your seed. God says, take your son, your only son, Isaac. Well, wait a minute. Take your son, your only son. He had Ishmael. So God clarifies what take your seed, your only seed. So it's clarifying what exactly the lineage of what the seed means, what that actually means, Ben. To be B'nai Israel, a son of Israel. I mean, Ishmael and Hagar reneged. Yes, they came back and they did teshuvah and they repented, but that was after. It was the blessings were transferred over to Isaac, Yaakov, Isaac. I had it right, and so it's clarifying your seed is Isaac, your son, your only son. So there's this idea that these are God's children or God's people, and we're all children of God. Oh my God, that's just. It's liberal, let's all hold hands, sing kumbaya. It's like interfaith dialogue. I mean, I was driving past the shul, and it was a Sunday, and I'm like, oh man, I never seen the synagogue so packed before. Oh my God, there's so many cars in the parking lot. Let me go in and take a peek at what's going on. Maybe for bringing. I go in, and they're having church services. Oh, I almost wanted to puke. And
Where?
so I go, what's going on? What's going on here? New? And the rabbi said, well, we try to have interfaith dialogue. We rent out the space to Christians Sunday, and we try to. I'm like, you're letting them worship Yashka in a holy. Now how do I come in on Shabbos? And make blessings. It's tamei. The building's tamei. You literally, the Torah says you can't pray in a place that's tamei. That's idol. Impure. What's the English translation? Impure.
Yeah.
You have tchotchke. I mean, they didn't have tchotchkes of Yashka, but they're praying to a demigod. They're praying to Hercules, Zeus, whatever. It's like what's going on with this? So it just, and it just doesn't mash. It just, if you look at an Orthodox, and I apologize, I'm monologuing, James. If you look at an Orthodox community from Jews, they have their own businesses. They associate with their own people. They don't want to be principals of schools, of Gentile schools. They don't want to run for mayor of a Gentile neighborhood. They don't want to be the CEO of a bank. They don't want to be the head of BlackRock. They don't want to be the head of Raytheon. They don't want to be the head of whatever Fortune 500 companies. They just want to be left alone and be their own company. So it ties in to your son, your only son. Take your son, your only son, which is actually the kosher saying, because what's so ironic is the Christians steal that. The New Testament plagiarizes that. Take your son, your only son. God had his only son. It's Abraham, and it's talking about Abraham, guys. That's not talking about. But that again, to really reiterate the point. Why is Harold Fink? Why is Fink, right? The guy that had a black walk. He's supposed to be Jew, right? But he has the debt of every multi-billion-dollar corporation in his hands. Raytheon is a weapons dealer and a warmonger machine, all run by Jews. Secular atheist Jews that hate God. so but people don't realize that. Oh, they just think, oh well, Harry Fink, he's one of those tribe members, right? But they don't realize, it's like, I'm kicking a dead horse, James. I apologize.
You're not kicking a dead horse.
So yeah, you
You're
can
not.
clearly see an Abraham. Sorry, that's my point.
Your point is spot on. And ask any rabbi, ask any Orthodox rabbi, who are the Jews' greatest enemy, and they're going to tell you, Jewish people. They're their own worst enemy, and yeah, when they fall, man, they fall hard. They fall big, and that's the ones that we know. Why? Why do we know those Jews? Well, the other Jews are busy with their head in Torah. They're busy, getting their house ready for Shabbos. They're davening. They're going to synagogue on Shabbat. They're living their lives. They're not out there making trouble. You ever seen an Orthodox Jew make trouble? I did on the lockdowns in New York City. They chained up a playground, and the rabbi came in and broke the chains and let the kids go out and play. For Pete's sakes, their children, let them play. And they came back the next day and welded it shut. But yeah, that was a very naughty Jew. Very, very bad. You were going against the grain. Yeah, I'd like to see all the Jews wake up and go home. I know that from what I've heard from my friends over there, Sam, one of them, it's a whole different country now. The inner fighting or the differences or whatever people were focused on, they are no longer. They are a very united people right now.
And this just it unifies them too. I mean, they're saying that a lot of secular Jews feel abandoned by leftists and Democrats. There's it's just. Of course, they're going to throw you under the bus. Of course, they're going to take, a minority. It's so funny because what these atheist Jews, they're all about a big trendy thing is hating white people. It's so funny. But as soon as and they push this anti-white agenda, and the funny thing is, the Democrats threw them under the bus because they look white. So now now it comes back full circle. So it's it's funny to me. It's funny in a sad way that you get what you get. And Sam Sam pushes the whole make Aliyah, get out. Do the right thing. You do it. There's nothing really stopping you from being unified. No matter how much you feel welcomed, right? No matter how much you want to try to lose your Jewishness and I'm gonna be a part of Gentile society, you're never really gonna fit in. And that's the sad thing about it, is because they're just gonna scapegoat you and blame you anyway, no matter how much you fit in, no matter how much you try. And that's really the story of Abraham, right? You're never gonna fit in. You got to go to yourself. Lecha, be who you gotta be. And then I'll give you the I'll show you where to go.
Get your house in gear.
Yeah, get your donkey and get the hell on out of here. That's a great connection, James. Thank you. Yeah, that's a good. There you go. We got it. Boom. Good connection. I like that.
And where does he go first? Egypt. History
Right.
does repeat itself, doesn't it?
Well, you gotta know what you gotta go down before you go out.
Yeah.
The old saying is you gotta hit rock bottom before and it's really, maybe it is psychological, maybe it's a human thing, but it's nothing motivates a person better than knowing that you don't have nothing, right? And wow, this is what it is to be in darkness, and you find your way out pretty quick.
This is true.
And nothing was more dark than Egypt, man. So
it was a good place at one time. I mean, one of the lessons I this is one I wrestle with. This is wrestled with God. This is how I've been around Jews too much. I've been studying Judaism too long. I wrestle with Abraham on this, on when he goes into, and Isaac, his son, does it too. They go into a foreign land and they pass off their wives. and they're scared. I mean, and Egypt was the first one, and the Pharaoh's like, "What have you done to me?" I mean, he knew better. So there's a civilized element to Egypt at this time. That was your wife. And the second time he gave a dream, to the guy. He's like, "Go easy on this guy." God told him himself, okay. But I don't want to say it spoke badly of Abraham's character. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that maybe this was a lesson he had to learn about the very people his seed were going to there to save, there to, bring light to. And it was like a lesson. It was a repeated lesson, and it's so overlooked, and nobody really wants to talk about it except, oh, well, the Gentiles were so bad. Abraham had no choice but to. It's like they put all the. It's like,
Well, it's like the scene from Fiddler on the Roof, right? It's like when the communist guy. Well, no, not the communist guy. It's the other guy, the farmer boy, the non-Jew guy, and he's trying to be friendly with the girl, and he's like, "Don't tell me you think you don't tell me you're like the Russians, the Cossacks who hate anyone that you're just prejudiced just because you hate outsiders. Don't be like that. Don't you want to be better than that." I don't know. I remember that scene. I think that's what you're kind of saying. I don't know.
I don't know.
That scene a little bit like
it was a lesson.
Don't have a prejudice of outsiders. You got to know. You don't know. You don't know, and you got to ask. Nothing wrong with it. Find. Abraham had I guess you're trying to say Abraham kind of had like a prejudicial thing about it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And he learned a lesson from it. And it's like there's a lesson there. And it happens again 3 times. We're going to be getting to this. And it's like, that's okay. He's okay. The rabbis say Abraham was especially as Abram, he was definitely what they call Ben Noach. Kept the 7. That's what we're told. So he himself isn't committing sexual immorality. Maybe is he? Could we nail him for selling off his wife or passing his wife off so that another man can have her? Is he not in violation? In some degree, that's where I'm at in my head. Is like, you've just told your wife to sleep with another man. That's screwed up, in my opinion. That's kind of, and it was out of fear. I get it, but we learn in Torah. So I'm just, maybe this was a lesson he had to learn, is what I'm saying. And I don't know, but it's just addressed a little different. It's left up to the reader, it seems. The author, Moshe Rabbeinu, God, what we're getting here, he doesn't comment too much on it, but we're getting that it happens repeatedly. Maybe that's what the extracted Jews go through. I'm willing to sell out so that you don't kill me. Or I'm willing to sell out because the only thing I can succeed at in this American land, is to become one of them. Perverts and filthy rich and warmongers. And it's not just that. I mean, American Jews brought us, cinema and Superman. Okay, I'm not knocking American Jews here as a whole. I'm just saying, when it comes to selling out, and now we've got Jews who sold their own people down the river. I personally think, the Schumers, they've stood so long with the communists, and it's just kind of funny how all the socialist communist pushers just also happen to stand with Palestine. Isn't that interesting, right? It's same core of people, same rotten communist, nasty, burn the world down so we can build something better than our ancestors have for 6,000 years of civilization. We can do better. We'll just burn the old one down. And they're the ones out there pushing. Okay, there. Maybe I just answered my own question. Goddamn commies. All right, I'm getting too much. 8:50. Hey, let's do a half Torah reading. Would you like to do a half Torah reading?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Who wants to do a half Torah reading? Let's read the Haftorah. In fact, today I'm going to go to Chabad. I'm just going to go to Chabad because the stones tripped me up a couple times. I'm going to have to take a second look at the stone. I need to find me a new chumash for a how do you say?
So what happened?
I need to get another chumash to get some more commentary that I haven't had.
Okay. Got
my Gutnik, gone through that, got the chumash, the stone, which I grabbed. It's easy reading, but the Haftorah is Isaiah. This will be chapter 40. We're going to start on verse 27. So, Yeshayahu, better known as Isaiah. And for those of you watching for the first time, the Haftorah is a brief extraction from the extraction. I'm using that word again because Tobias Singer, he was saying they are of Jewish extraction. It's like, because we always say they're of Jewish descent. Oh, well, their mother is Jewish, but they aren't. And he says of Jewish extraction. That's perfect. But it's a part of the Haftorah is a part of the Hebrew Bible that is not Torah, but directly pertains to Torah. And it's just nice that we get into Scripture while we're here. Because we should. Scripture's unchanging and doesn't mess you up. Men will. All right, chapter 40, verse 27 in the book of Isaiah. Here we go. Why should you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel, my way has been hidden from the Lord, and from my God my judgment passes. Do you not know, if you have not heard, an everlasting God is the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth? He neither tires nor wearies. There is no fathoming his understanding. Who gives the tired strength? And to him who has no strength, he increases strength. Now youths become tired and weary, and young men shall stumble. But those who put their hope in the Lord shall renew their vigor. They shall raise wings as raise wings as eagles. They shall run and not weary. They shall walk and not tire. 41. Be silent to me, you islands, and kingdoms shall renew their strength. They shall approach, they shall speak together. To judgment let us draw near. Who aroused from the east the one whom righteousness accompanied? He placed nations before him, and over kings he gave him domination. He made his sword like dust, his bow like wind-blown stubble. He pursued them and passed on safely, on a path upon which he had not come with his feet. He worked and did, who calls the generations from the beginning. I, the Lord, am first, and with the last ones, I am he. The islands shall see fear. The ends of the earth shall quake. They have approached and come. Each one shall aid his fellow, and to his brother he shall say, strengthen yourself. And the craftsman strengthened the smith, and one who smooths with the hammer strengthened the one who wields the sledgehammer. He says to the cement, it is good, and he strengthened it with nails, that it should not move. But you, Israel, my servant, Jacob, who I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, who loved me, whom you grasped from the ends of the earth, and from its robes I called you and said to you, you are my servant. I chose you, and I did not despise you. Do not fear, for I am with you. Be not discouraged, for I am your God. I encouraged you. I also helped you. I also supported you with my righteous hand. Behold, all those incensed against you shall be ashamed and confounded. Those who quarried with you shall be as naught and be lost. You may seek them, but not find them. Those who quarrel with you, those who war with you, you shall be as naught and as nothing. For I, the Lord your God, grasp your right hand, who says to you, fear not, I will help you. Fear not, O worm of Jacob, the number of Israel. I have helped you, says the Lord, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I have made you a new grooved threshing sledge with sharp points. You shall thresh the mountains and crush them fine, and you shall make hills like chaff. You shall winnow them, and a wind shall carry them off, and a tempest shall scatter them. And you shall rejoice in the Lord. With the Holy One of Israel shall you praise yourself. And thus ends the Haftorah.
Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, what is that to say, James? Successful show.
I think what could be said is what you said at the beginning of the show. There's one God who created all of us and loves us very much and cares about what happens to us. All of us.
Yeah. People overthink it. I think people overthink it and overcomplicate it.
I would agree. Well, if you're watching out there on YouTube, Rumble, and if you get the links at the Orphans of Abraham, and you're watching, and you have a question, comment, compliment, complaint, suggestion, give us a ring. We've kind of going into overtime now, afterglow, whatever. I think I've gotten heavy enough on some. Come on, we're at war here, and I don't want us to be at war. We got better things to do.
Yeah, and go follow us on Rumble. I was taking a look at the link. Look at Rumble. It said we got 20 viewers. So everyone out on Rumble, like and share the video, promote us. If you know a buddy, you have a friend that might like the show, copy the links, send them to them. One person does it, then two people do it, then two become four become eight becomes 16, and then we can grow a show, we can grow a community. It doesn't cost money. It's free to hit the like. It's free to share. There's no problem. There's no reason why you can't do it. There's no excuse.
And also, if you're watching on Rumble, I'm putting a link in the side chat over here. There'll be a StreamYard link. This will get you on the show. If you'd like to join the conversation, if there's something you question, if you're interested in, all things ethical monotheists, we would love to hear from you. Come on in. We're nice folk. And we're not going to BS you either. We're not going to give you the runaround.
Absolutely. We're open to listen. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow. The more you know, the more you grow, as they say. Reading Rainbow. So take a look. It's in the book, Reading Rainbow. So it's. I'm only trying to do my best. James is only trying to do his best. Rosalie only trying to do their best.
Yep.
We're not here to be mean. We're not here to own you, pwn you. Ooh, headshot, head kill. We're gonna put the reruns on the internet and make you look stupid. No, that's not what we do here. We're here to have fun. So, are we getting off of YouTube to go only on Rumble for the after show, or what, James?
Okay.
It's up to you, because I'm ready for an after show.
Last time I tried to do this, I didn't do it quite well. So, since I have
since you have me in the
smart
room.
guy over here is here, he can guide me. I'm going to go to edit.
Yeah.
And then I just
you click the
one I don't want.
Yeah, right. The circle of the one you don't want. So that being the YouTube one. And it's going to ask you delete on YouTube. You do not check that. You don't want to delete it from YouTube. You just want to remove it from YouTube.
Okay. In the wise words of one of my favorite social media hosts, who I adore, sometimes, most of the time,